I am Lanvell Blake. I completed my Master's in Public Health and Health Promotion at Swansea University, Wales.
Hi, I'm Shanoy Coombs, and I studied at the University of Sheffield. I studied intercultural communications and international development.
Hi guys, my name is Odayne Haughton. I studied at the University of Westminster, Digital Business.
And we are 2019 Chevening Scholars.
I chose to apply for the Chevening Scholarship because not only is it a prestigious scholarship, but I felt that the program of study that I had needed to be aligned with a network where I'd get the opportunity to practice the different things that are a part of my program in intercultural communications and international development.
All right, so why Chevening? I love traveling and I'm always all over the place. Chevening sends you to London, and two of the cities that I'm very in love with is, of course, Paris and London. But when it comes to academia, you know, London is that place to go and get the education thing going.
I think for me, it was Kemisha Kelly, a 2016 Chevening Scholar. I think during that time, I would have been following Kemisha's journey. Kemisha tweeted a lot about her journey. Kemisha was also one of the social media ambassadors. And through following her online, I kind of got an idea of what Chevening was about. But funny story, my background is in journalism. And when I decided to apply for Chevening, I decided to apply for public health and health promotion. UK has one of the leading health systems. The NHS is one of the best in the world. And I thought for me, wanting to marry communication with public health, where else to go but the UK, and Chevening presented that opportunity to study. So it was wet and cold. I studied in Wales, Swansea specifically, and for me, it took a lot to adjust to the weather there. But apart from that, I chose a program that allowed me not only to focus on the medical side of public health, because a lot of public health degrees focus on medical public health. For me, I looked at the socioeconomic side of public health, looking at things such as homelessness, food insecurity, stuff that don't generally pop up when you talk about public health. The experience was great in that I had a lot of opportunities to do stuff outside of academic. I, in a sense, became a poster boy for Swansea. And the general experience kind of forced me outside of what I knew or what I thought I knew. So yeah, it was a great experience.
For me, the main thing, I would say diverse. If I were to summarize it in one word, I would definitely say diverse. I was in Sheffield, which they call the university town. It was a mix of hills, forests, lots of greenery. So I really loved that, the fresh air, the families being out, exercising, being a big part of life. That was really fun for me. In terms of diversity as well, and the program I studied, it was perfect because the student cohort as well was very diverse. So when we had discussions in our program and we were talking about cultural differences, you got an opportunity to really experience that, to really have people share firsthand how they would have interpreted something separately from how you would have interpreted it. And a major thing for me as well was the friendships developed. I found pretty early in that having developed friendships were super, super important, especially when it got on to COVID time and we were under stress and there was just lots of pressure. These friendships kind of help you to go through all of that. And finally, in terms of diversity as well, just the different landscapes. Traveling across the UK was always like going to many different countries. If you never got to leave the UK, it was like every part you went to just had so many different things to offer.
So jumping off what Shanoy said, it's very diverse. There's as she said, studying in the UK, you get to meet people from all around the world. And in London, it's just a melting pot of cultures from all over the world. So being the only Jamaican in my class, I got to meet Germans, I got to meet persons from the Middle East. I got to meet people from the Asian side of the world, from all over the world. It's just a whole melting pot of cultures. Separate and aside from meeting people from various different backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, London gives you that opportunity to meet world-class leaders in various different fields. So having studied digital business and being in the field of digital transformation, London is one of those cities that is far ahead of the game in terms of developing, in terms of technology. So my program actually paired us with companies for us to learn within that field. And for me, that experience goes with me for the rest of my life. So there's so many different memories, but for me, I guess I would say it would be meeting some of my colleagues and building that bond and that relationship that we have. Even up until today, we still have some of those connections. Some of my colleagues from Bangkok, from Germany, you know, having met those people and transitioned through that program and build those friendships, for me was one of the most memorable experiences that I could say that I take from my program.
I think there's so many. I think I'd sum it up though as the opportunities I got, opportunities to present myself, to talk about Chevening, to talk about the university, my program. I did a lot of promotional stuff for the university, had a lot of opportunities to speak, hosted podcasts for university. But I think the biggest thing coming out of this is that at the end of my program, I was invited at a public health and health promotion conference to present my dissertation. And for all of us here, it's a big part of it culminates your journey. And to be one of the persons selected to present my dissertation and the feedbacks that I would have gotten from the presentation and from my overall dissertation, that was the it moment for me. That was the icing on the cake.
All right, the most memorable, or one of the most memorable things for me while studying in the UK would have been the opportunity I got to mix my work life with my school life. So for me, as someone who had been working before, it's not that you got bored, but you got used to be implementing and doing things in practice, and then you're gone into the classroom and you're doing lots of theory, and then sometimes it can become a little underwhelming, in fact. But what I liked was that my program of study provided the opportunity for us to have very hands-on and practical components. COVID kind of ruined some components because we were to be doing research in Tanzania, for example, but we found ways to work around that and to do the research virtually. But then there were several things, like we had different conferences, we had presentations. I was able to lead some public speaking masterclasses, vision boarding sessions at the university. And for me, it made me feel a little bit closer to home and a little bit closer to what I had been doing before. So it was very good for me to be able to do some work-related components while also studying.
Chevening gives you a world of opportunities. There's a large network for you to tap into after the program, even while the program is going on. Lots of experiences while you're there in the UK, and you get to meet people from all over the world. For me, it's a world-class experience from a world-class program, having the opportunity to participate from a world-class scholarship. So just do it.
Well, I would definitely say go for it, right? First, you need to just get over the fear. And at first, if you don't get the Chevening Scholarship, it's not the end of the world. I'm living testimony because many people did not know that I'd applied for the Chevening Scholarship before. I should say as well that as you evolve in your career and in your life, things and circumstances may change, because when I applied and what I applied for, it's very different from what I eventually got the scholarship for. So sometimes, get over the fear. If you try the first time and you don't get in, truly evaluate what you're passionate about and then align it with really your applications and the schools and the programs of study, etc. It's a life-changing opportunity. It changes your perspective. It colors your world very differently, and you come back home with a very fresh approach to just about everything.
I remember seeing the individuals who would have gotten the scholarship before me and reading their profiles, and you'd have been like, oh, but I don't match up to what they have on paper. But I think when you start writing the essays, you actually see that you have been doing work. So don't doubt yourself, you don't lose. I remember Christina Monteith, 2018 scholar, I think her mother said, you don't lose anything from applying for Chevening. If you get it, you get an opportunity of a lifetime. If you don't get it, there's nothing to lose from applying. So don't doubt yourself, go ahead, put things on paper, see that you have been doing the work, click submit.